The Pentagon, the puzzle palace, they sometimes call it. Our military's headquarters, over the past couple of years, not many years, inundated with all of these new practices, values, all this stuff. And it's extremely time consuming. We're back with Stuart Scheller, 17 years on active duty. He left active duty last year. Hey, can I ask you, 04 to 2021, that's a long time. You saw the change. Tell us how radical the change was. And this stuff that sounds great, diversity, equity, and inclusion, takes a lot of time, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When I was an operations officer at the basic school, I was preparing briefs for DACOITS, the Defense Advisory for Women. This was a congressional panel. And as an operations officer, where I should have been planning how to train and educate young lieutenants, I spent most of my time providing statistical surveys to congressional panels on how to be more inclusive. This was around President Obama's time frame. The Marine Corps even did a panel with an integrated task force, provided all the data, and Ray Mabus basically said, I don't care. This was the Secretary of the Navy under Obama, said, I don't care about your data. This is the direction we're going. And so that was kind of the departure point where facts didn't matter anymore, and there was agendas that was pushed because politicians have such absolute control over the military that it's easy to push political agendas, especially when you don't have senior military leaders that can push back.
Well, here's a senior military leader who did not push back. He was a commandant of the Marine Corps at the time, and he's basically abused by a senator. His reaction, I think, is very telling. It's a little on the long side, but there's a lot to learn here potentially. Let's go ahead and roll it, please. Stand by.
I can tell you, your answers today are unsatisfactory. They do not go far enough. And I would like you to know what you intend to do to the commanders who are responsible for good order and discipline. All of this behavior is in violation of Article 120 and Article 34 as so stated. They are violating the Code of Criminal Justice.
You know, you've heard it before, but we're going to have to change how we see ourselves and how we treat each other. That's a lame answer, but ma'am, that's the best I can tell you right now.
I saw complete capitulation, a defeated man, and also essentially throwing the entire Marine Corps under the bus because the culture of the Marine Corps is a good one, was a good one. Your thoughts, please.
General Neller was pretty much a defeatist his entire commandant's ship. That was just his personality. But to your point, the congressional members that are identifying sexual assault, it is a problem in the military, but the deeper problem is that the UCMJ does not function effectively. Commanders have lost bias. There's not a judicial arm in the military like there is in our government. The same commanders that lack moral courage oversee the judicial process, and it is broken. So when congressional members identify one problem, they're actually misdiagnosing it. The problem is much larger, and all roads come back to poor leadership. And General Neller, I think, epitomized that.
Check out his book, please. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, former Crisis of Command, How We Lost Trust and Confidence in America's Generals and Politicians. And I hope you're thinking about a political future or public service. I sense you are. We are out of time. Yay or nay? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yeah, yay.
Okay. Very pleased to hear that. We'll be right back, and thank you.